And we are back with these noisy girls. Raised by Fire, our wonderful episode. This is episode 2, and we can't tell you enough how excited we are to be here with you, sharing our story, more than anything, sharing our relationship. We hope you enjoyed our last episode. When the cameras and lights went off, the gremlins came out, and we picked ourselves apart and thought about all the things we should and shouldn't have said. But as we've promised, we want to be real and raw, and nothing is scripted. And we try not to edit unless we're afraid we'll get in trouble. But we just want you guys to have a little view of behind the scenes, what it takes to move the big, majestic machine that we're involved in. But anyways, I want to surprise you girls. And what I want to talk about today, I think would be, if you guys don't like it, you want to vote me out, that's fine. But actually, before we talk, this came to me. Let's introduce ourselves. Everybody knows who I am. I'm Pamela Jones, the mother, and
I'm Lucy,
the oldest.
Let's
go in order, yeah.
I'm Lucy, the oldest, the shortest, and
the feistiest.
Yes,
to all that.
Don't mess with these girls.
I'm Melanie, the second oldest and the fifth child.
Middle child.
I'm probably like the mama bear, you know?
Ooh.
These girls, when we were in our party era, it was not good for them to have me around.
It was good for me, though.
I did it for Mom.
I'm Jen. I'm the middle of the girls. And I am... What am I?
You're the healthy one.
I think I'm like the balance. I thought
Yeah,
you were a nurturer, too.
that's a great
And a
word. I
nurturer,
like
yeah.
that.
I'm like
I
right
feel
in
like
the
you
middle.
give us all space. You
Yeah.
like hold space for
Yeah.
us.
'Cause I'm
You
right in
meet
the
us
middle.
where we're at all times.
Oh,
agree.
my heart. That's so true.
Tell me more. I love it. So true.
Oh, okay. So I'm Pamela, and I am, I guess, the second baby. And I'm the loud one, which is why I'm on the end. I don't know. What else? I'm probably a lot of other things. I'm the tallest. Wait. I'm the tallest.
And she's
I'm the tallest girl.
Pamela.
And I'm the third Pamela. Pamela the third. You know, the favorite.
I was going to say that, but I didn't want to admit it.
Your name's not Pamela, so it's definitely me.
I'm kidding.
I'm Bethany, and I'm the baby.
Yes.
My baby.
She's the perfect one.
The perfect
That's
one.
what I
Yes.
was told. I don't know if I believe it, but
I believe it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Took 9
Don't
times
let
to get
her
it right.
fool you.
Yeah,
though.
it took 9 times to get it right.
Don't let her fool you. She's really strong and opinionated, and she's determined. And
Stubborn.
once she gets something, she
She
gets
is
an
stubborn.
idea, she makes it happen. She's inspired me a
determined.
lot.
She holds this family together.
Truly.
Bookend.
From the bottom up.
Yep. She really does.
That's the best way.
Yeah, love it.
Anyways, so what I wanted to talk about a little bit is, for those of you who've been following our story at all, it's a true rags to riches story. So I want to have a few conversations about our rags time in our lives, our poverty. I like to call it the pigweed era. Some people don't like me to mention that we actually ate pigweed. But I wanted to talk a little bit let's talk about the rags to riches story, a little bit about what it was like, some of our memories, and then we'll work our way up to where we are today. Sound good? Mm-hmm. Yes. Who wants to go first?
I'll start just because I
Okay.
have a joke. Talking about in the beginning when we were very poor, I remember when we would talk about memories of like not being able to eat, and I would always say, well, I was breastfed, so I was taken care of. Because like no matter what I ate, you guys I don't know. But,
Yes, you did.
that was like it's a
comfort.
joke, but it's also like a real thing. Like I always had food and I didn't have to worry about it, but that wasn't really the case for
Not for everybody else,
Yeah.
but for you it was true.
Yeah.
Well, I can talk about our first Thanksgiving in Sandy,
Utah?
Utah.
Yeah, let's hear about that.
So I was really proud of myself that I could help out, and Mom came home and brought dessert from all over the places that
The dumpsters.
apparently were from the
Dumpsters.
dumpster diving. And
So I went dumpster diving and I got dessert and brought it home.
Oh my god. Can you tell me what the dessert was?
Like donuts.
I mean,
I
it
don't
was
remember
stuff
that.
we
Eat that?
couldn't ever
Yeah, we
afford.
did.
We would never buy that. It
Was
like,
it like
But it
half
was
eaten
like-
or like new, just
no,
thrown in
it's
the
in new
garbage?
containers. It was
Okay.
just expired.
Or
Okay.
smashed.
But it was like
Okay.
key lime pie or like
Banana cream
like
pies.
cherry. You know, like
So all the desserts and
all the
sugary
desserts,
stuff that we
yeah.
never had. Yeah.
That we were. I feel like we were in heaven. Like it was the best stuff ever. I mean,
Yes, we
I
did
don't-
eat dumpster food.
I don't think
but
I remember
do
that. That was in
remember
Utah.
That and I just like so many packages. But part of it, like it only lasts for a certain amount of time, and then you're like, oh wait, that's probably not the best.
Yeah, it was expired.
That's probably gonna give us
Expired.
The
some
milk was
issues.
the worst. The milk was the
Yeah,
worst.
yeah.
And the cheese was the worst.
But it felt so sad. Like mom's, I don't know.
Aww.
You know, she's out there cleaning houses and then bringing us dessert from a dumpster. What the fuck?
We're laughing about it, but it's truly sad.
Yeah.
Hey,
Anyway,
I didn't know it was from a dumpster, so I thought we were living large.
yeah. Anyways.
Oh, how about you, Jen?
A second time I cried. I think you guys all knew I was going to be the first and second to cry.
Hey, you can't be the cute, feisty one and not be the crying one, too. Yeah, so back when we lived in the colony, on grocery day, if you guys remember, the kids' dad would cut up phone books. So you picture the size of a page of a phone book, the yellow phone books back in the day, and he'd cut that into 4 little squares. And that was the kids' tissue paper.
Mom,
and
don't tell these stories.
And I hated that.
Don't tell these stories.
Well, I'm gonna be honest. I hated that because it would paint all your guys' underwear black.
Was our butts with ink?
You know what?
Oh
I
my
would say
gosh.
the worst is jamoncillo, and when we're eating it, we are like spitting out a cockroach.
What if someone had their period? They had to use newspaper?
Yeah. Or rags.
Oh, that's so sad. I don't.
I
mean, was
remember
too young,
just
but I'm
using
like, that sounds
socks. No wonder why we
Rags and
That is
Rags,
horrible.
yeah.
Okay,
Or
girls, let's not
shower.
talk over each other. But anyways,
Oh my
so
gosh.
back when we were in the colony, we were truly a rag story, and it wasn't because the children's dad didn't have money. It was a form of how they kept everybody submissive, and it was part of the rules. But anyways, on grocery day, I would pick up my little bags of cut up. You know, they even measured
I
how many
remember those.
bags of cut up newspaper or phone
Phone
book
books.
pages, and then we would get a thing called piloncillo. And piloncillo was actually made in Mexico. It's the garbage from all the sugar cane. So it had mice poop, it had animal bugs,
cockroaches,
cockroaches,
bugs.
legs, whatever in it. And they would put it in like a cylinder, and it would harden, and they would feed that to the cattle. So my husband then bought that, and we would render that down. So we would melt it with water, and then we would strain it all.
I remember
but the
licking
kids,
on the cylinder.
But the kids would get so desperate for candy, they'd sneak into it, and then they'd chew on it, and
Yep.
they'd find all kinds of little parts of whatever. So that was part of the staples, and then of course we had olive oil, and we had mush. And mommy always made bread. But tell the truth, did you guys think we were poor when you were growing up?
I knew we were poor, like for sure. But you would have sugar hidden under your bed, like for cooking or normal oil.
Because
But-
sugar, Dad wouldn't
I
let
know,
me buy sugar.
I know.
So I'd
But I
sneak it.
remember it was all hidden under the bed because when he came around, you
I
couldn't
don't
have it out.
remember that.
Yeah.
Anyways, go ahead.
I love, still to this day, I can taste it right now. But bread and milk
Yeah.
with sugar,
Yeah.
that was
Cinnamon.
the dream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honey.
Dream and mush, dream breakfast.
Yeah.
I didn't. So I guess I didn't know we were poor.
I just found out now.
Yeah, I just found out now.
Yeah.
So back in Mexico, there were, I always like to feed the kids healthy, which you guys know that. I was always making you salads or whatever the story was. And there was this weed, and it was called pigweed. So the pigs, evidently, if you were raising pigs, which we never raised pigs, I don't think I know of anybody that did, but the weed was called pigweed. Look it up, anybody's curious. And you could pick a whole big bucket of this pigweed, and it would cook down to almost nothing. But I'd pick pigweed, and then I'd cook it up, and then I would mix it and do it with eggs and make you guys burritos and beans. And you
Is that
guys,
what that was
Was
made
that
out
like
of?
slimy, kind of like green?
no, you're thinking of the nopales, the
Oh,
cactus.
nopal, yeah.
No, it wasn't slimy. It's kind of like a spinach, but way better. And to this day, if I made a batch of pigweed, if you guys
That's what
put
I
your
thought,
if
it
you
was
put
like
your
spinach.
put your pride aside, you guys would love it because it actually tastes really good. But it was that's how poor we were.
Yeah.
Like you couldn't even go buy any vegetable whatsoever. I'd go out in the field and glean this pigweed and make that for your guys' meals. So part of the cult or the part of the church that I was married into, part of their system was to keep everybody poor. So you guys were fed lots of bread and whatever else you guys
Tortillas.
remember. Yeah, you were fed
Beans
beans,
and
and
rice.
rice, but nothing more. And usually the beans were infested with weevils. The sugar cane was whatever. But I mean, so we're talking the stories going from rags to riches. So here we are struggling for every single thing. Do you guys remember having water, running water at all?
That was hard. I remember waiting forever for it to come out of. You'd have to pump it out of the well and waiting forever. Yeah, we
Or
didn't
the
have clean
tap,
water.
you turn it on, yay, we have water, and just
And
get
sometimes it was
slowly,
dry,
slowly,
yeah.
some would never
Yeah.
have water at the end of the
I
day.
do remember being really thirsty too, many times.
Yeah, that feeling of being thirsty, I
Yeah.
know that feeling, and it was
Because
a
there was
lot.
no water?
No,
Or only
So we didn't have
contaminated
water.
it was salty water. The taps were all
Baja.
salt water.
So in in
Yeah.
Baja,
Gosh.
California, it was salty. In the colony, which was the last place we lived, which is where you were born, there was no water at the house
Yeah.
we were at. Something was wrong with the pipes. They had either had sand in them or something. So sometimes it would trickle through, and then we would haul the water. But can you imagine raising 9 kids, all the laundry, especially mommy.
Oh, the
Mommy was
laundry
always
was
the
the
last.
worst.
And not having water. And to try to figure out how to flush the toilet,
Yeah.
how to clean it.
Was there an
the
outhouse or
bucket.
something? Or no,
No,
you
we
brought
had it
We
in.
had one bathroom.
And
You
it-
had
brought
to carry
the
the bucket to shower,
bucket to sh-
and then to flush the toilet, you'd use
Use
dirty
dirty
water
water.
to flush the
Why do I
toilet.
have memories of bucket baths?
I think that was when we went to go visit after the divorce, because I remember that too. And then
Yeah.
like, I remember like being at someone's house and like a bucket of warm water from the stove, and you bring it to the tub to give you
That's
hot
all of
water.
our childhood memories.
That's
Yeah.
how everybody
I
bathed
remember
back
that.
then.
Yeah.
You went down to visit your dad and you probably
Yeah,
did that.
those are my memories too.
Yeah.
of, like, going
So then
back
we
down.
end up fast forward. So the whole 19 years I was married, one of the biggest struggles, and to be honest, sometimes when I think about it, it actually causes me pain, the hunger that I went through. I was really hungry when my parents moved into Mexico for those 4 years before I got married. So that's why I decided to get married, along with a lot of other reasons. You'll have to hear about that in my book. But I wanted to be fed. So when I picked Dad, I thought, well, at least we'll have food. And then everything changed, and being hungry was a part of the experience of being in that cult and the control. And it was more not by Dad as much, but the church. A couple of your uncles ran the storehouse. They measured out 1 potato for every kid, a 1/4 cup of oil. They were really stingy, and what they gave us to feed the kids was never enough. So that's how it was. So we leave Mexico, we come into America, and
Didn't have beds for like 6 months.
yeah, so we didn't have beds. Where did we get our beds from? Does anybody remember?
Dumpsters.
Side of the street.
Dumpsters again. Keeping
I
us straight.
I do remember getting the beds, and you'd be
stuff?
like, "Here, come get in your new bed." I'm like, "Nah, I slept on the floor still because the bed wasn't comfortable or something. Like I still slept on the floor for like another 6 months." Do you remember that?
Well, I didn't know that, but so when I obviously here I rented my first townhomes, and now I gotta furnish it, and I have no money, right? So there was a place called Mattress Giant or Mattress Store or Mattress something, and out back people would bring their mattresses and drop off their old mattresses, and then they would load their new mattresses and go home. So I'd wait till it was after dark, and then I'd pull up the van and I'd load on some mattresses and I'd strap them down and drive home, and I was like in heaven, and load them.
Is that where we got
So
it
we
from?
ended up. That's where we got it from. So we ended up with 2 queen beds for the boys, and then we ended up with two twin
twins,
beds
I
for the
remember
girls,
that.
and then I ended up buying 1 bed. But anyway, so I was in heaven. Went and got all those beds. They
Did
were
we get lice?
no, we didn't, or anything else. They were nicer than any bed we ever had in Mexico. Who remembers the beds that we had in Mexico?
Yes, the beds in
Didn't
Mexico.
we have a bunk bed?
Dad
With the wire?
built these out of plywood. These
Yeah, I
little
remember those.
square legs with plywood, and then a mattress was this
It was
thin.
it wasn't a mattress.
It was those foam.
It's like a foam.
What?
What are the
But
photos
not the
that I
memory
see?
foams that we have here now, like the cheapy,
Where you
like
can put eggs inside of it? It's like
yeah,
an egg
like
holder.
and they're like this thin. So you're sleeping on like plywood.
Yeah, but how come there's photos of like a really pretty flower bedspread and it's a bunk bed in a
That
room?
was in LeBaron.
That was
We went
after.
back to
way
LeBaron.
later.
Oh, because I was like,
Yeah,
that
I
looked nice
remember
in the
the
photos.
photos
I don't
when we were
remember it, but
really
I,
young.
I remember it was like
We had a
photos
bunk
look
bed.
nice.
Yeah, in LeBaron we
Anyways.
had a bunk bed and a
So,
day
so
bed.
where are you guys talking about? Where's was that?
Baja.
Baja.
I definitely don't remember Baja then.
Yeah.
You were just a baby.
Yeah, I was like. I do
Anyways,
not
that was part
remember.
of the poverty.
Yeah.
The Ed Carton styrofoam beds, the pigweed, and whatever else that we had. We get excited, so I'm trying to keep order and then get the story out. But anyways, now fast forward, we are in America. I got all these amazing beds. We're starting to live high on the hog, in my opinion. We would go to garage selling. I know you didn't like garage selling. Why didn't you like garage selling? Tell everybody.
Let me tell you the sad story.
Oh no.
Now she's gonna confess. Tell.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
What story?
Okay, so mom's always garage selling all the time. And one time she pulls up to this house. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is someone I go to school with, and I hate the girl there. I'm like, Mom, can I please stay in the car? She's like, sure, stay in the car. And then she's like, Melanie, come here. There's some clothes over here.
The girl, you hate her clothes.
And I'm like, no, Mom, I don't want to go.
This was in Utah or was this in?
This was here.
Here.
No,
Oh,
Mom, I'm
Minnesota.
good. I'm gonna stay in the car. No, Melanie, come here. Come. They have some good stuff here.
Oh,
Mom gets the
embarrassing.
car horn.
Oh my goodness.
Was the girl there?
Oh no! Just dying.
She gets the
She's
car.
like 13
You can start talking. Melanie, come here.
No.
So did you tell?
Well, she probably did if you were calling her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I came and I was like, okay, whatever. It was fine after, but I was like, I hate garage sales, Mom.
I do remember that, and it stayed in my mind. Melanie hates garage sales. I never knew why.
Oh, I'm dead over here.
That's so funny.
So we furnished the house through garage selling, and in Mexico there's no garage sales, and if you ever
Yeah.
find people's crap, it's
One of
pretty
those
junky.
tissues.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Anyways,
One thing I was going to
And
say
my
is
kids love it to this day.
this is probably why I didn't know we were poor, is because when we got to America, that was like so much better. We were still poor for like Americans,
Yeah.
but it was so much better than it was in Mexico. So in a way, we were kind of living the dream, but it actually was really, we were in poverty in America. So it's this weird, like, that's why I don't think I felt poor, is because,
Right.
you know,
It was better
like,
than
oh,
where
wow,
we were.
this-
Definitely better.
Like you're saying,
Yeah.
expired desserts. What? This is crazy.
At least
you know?
we had desserts.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember
Yeah.
thinking like we would never buy this, and we were luxury, but
Yeah.
also it's just like a hard reality of like our life.
yeah.
Do you guys remember our first Christmas tree?
Oh,
Yes.
that was sad.
That
What
was
house
the
was that?
saddest little Christmas tree I've
Sandy,
ever
Utah.
seen.
Do you remember
Yeah.
Pamela?
No.
You ever see the little cartoon Snoopy?
Snoopy.
Yep.
Snoopy, and he has this
Charlie
little
Brown.
stick, a Charlie Brown.
Yeah.
And there's one little twig over here and one over
Yeah.
there.
Hey, that's cute.
How it was.
That's how it was.
That's
Love
how it
it.
was.
I think the first Christmas I remember is when we were here in Honeycomb, and I just remember the school like gave us all these presents, and I was like, "Whoa, this is so amazing!"
Yeah.
And,
I
like,
felt like we were.
well, I
rich.
didn't know it was a school at first, but then I was just like, "What the heck?"
a
We had a tree and like just tons of presents. We were just like, I'm sure our eyeballs and our jaw hit the ground, and I was like, "This is the
Yeah.
best day ever!" And we all had toys and clothes and everything, and I was just like,
Yeah.
obviously I didn't know they were donated to us because we were poor, but either way, I was like, "This
Made
is
your
amazing."
Christmas.
I didn't know like until later, but I just was like, "Oh, Mom figured something out, and here we are balling."
Yeah. That was fun.
Yeah, so that was one of the beautiful things about coming to America, as we're talking, like dumpster diving for food and actually finding food better than you would find on the grocery shelves in Mexico, and finding beds and mattresses that were way better quality than anything I'd ever had for you in Mexico. And like you're saying, the school, so when we moved to Minnesota, I had never seen so much snow in my life, and I got a note from school saying that I need to get snow pants and all this winter gear for my kids. Well, I had no money. There was no way. And I was just emotional. I didn't know how to do it, trying to figure it out, kind of talking the kids into not going out for PE and staying in the classroom. Could we do that? So they found out that I had a family of 9, and that obviously I was an only parent, and we were living in somewhat poverty, though we had a beautiful home. So they would draw names of different people in school to help, so they picked our family name, and next thing I knew, they're calling me and getting the sizes of all my kids. They got the snow pants and all the snow gear the kids needed. And I remember just feeling so blessed, and I had this envelope, and I opened it and had some vouchers in it for Ingrins. You remember Ingrins?
Yes.
I love Ingrid.
Yeah. So then I
Grocery
went.
store.
So I went and sat in the car, and I looked through it, and it was $300, and I just started bawling my eyes off. And I remember just feeling so grateful, and like I felt like no matter what, someone was looking out for us in ways that I couldn't provide. I mean, I was
We was
doing
blessed.
everything I
Yeah.
could. to provide, but there was 10 mouths to feed, not to mention how many people kept coming up and
Right.
staying with us.
Yeah.
And so I sat out in the garage. It wasn't cash, but it was food money. And I purchased Christmas meal, and then I bought groceries for my family for 3 weeks with that money. And I felt so blessed. And obviously, leaving Mexico, you're so brainwashed that the government's going to get you and take your kids, and you had to keep everything secret. As you guys probably have lots of memories of how mommy would always just do things kind of secret. Don't let them know how many kids are here. Looking back, I think how foolish, but at the time it was the best I could do. But one of my biggest aha moments when I came to America was realizing that there was a community and that they cared. And I believe that the following Christmas that we got gifts as well. And then after that, we were on our way out of the woods. But it was such a time of like celebration, like Bethany was saying. I didn't know we were poor. And I just think most of you kind of started feeling we were so wealthy.
Yeah.
We had a beautiful home, thanks to garage sales and your friends. But we had
Those
a beautiful
couches
home.
last forever.
Yeah.
Those couches.
Yeah.
Aren't they still?
They're still
in the
around.
family.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
still in the family.
Yeah, so we furnished the whole house through garage selling, and obviously you
Clothed
girls.
the children.
Yep, obviously you girls did hand-me-downs.
Yeah.
And then obviously we started our business. So I started cleaning homes right when I came to America. I started by myself, I believe. You were still dang tiny. So I would figure out the schedule of my clients and when they weren't going to be home, and then I would take you with me to the houses to clean because I didn't have a babysitter and all my kids were in school. So do you guys kind of remember Mom being gone and cleaning the first little while? You guys were all in school. And as time would go on, I started picking up the girls from school to help me clean those houses. And I had this little notebook. I don't remember if you know. I think I still
do
have it
remember.
somewhere. And I would just write down how many houses and how much money I needed to make to feed the kids. And one time I had been divorced 3 years, and your Aunt Vera was getting ready to get divorced, and she realized God didn't kill me or my kids, and we were actually thriving. So she felt like, okay, you tested the product. No one has suffered. I'm leaving. So I said, yes, come to Minnesota. I still think it's so funny what I said. And we can clean houses together. And I'll clean 2 houses. That's $150. I don't need more than $150. You do one, $75 for you, and $150 for me, and I can raise all my family, and we'll be great. We can clean 3 houses a day. So that was the plan. Obviously, it never happened. And I look back and think how childish that was. But at the time, I'd never seen so much money.
Yeah.
You know, and I would just live large. I would just, in my heart, and the way I would show up at the parks and the families gathering and things that we did, we never showed up that we were lacking or we needed or we were broke. We showed up believing we were wealthy. Is that not the case?
Yeah.
Well, we
Even
thought
if
we were. 'Cause
We
it
were.
better than what we had before.
and we were, and obviously we've continued on, and so we built these empires. Some of the girls got married, moved off to do some of their things, and we still work together. I think right now we're pretty close, all kind of still working somewhat together or in the same
We've made a
business.
tradition with the sandwiches at the park. I feel like started back then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we do that. And I remember, so I was still brainwashed, and I was taught to pay tithing, and I wanted God to bless me so bad because I had such a big family, and now I started having grandkids. So I would, I think about it all the time. So I pay my tithing at church, to the church we were going to, and it was $80 because I'd made $800 that week. It was $80, and without fail, for a whole year, if not longer, that check would bounce every Monday. Every Monday. And I would run and clean the house on Monday and try to get the money in so that when they resubmitted it, my tithing wouldn't bounce because I had no money. Thinking back, I think my pastor should have given me a get out of jail free card. Like you are raising 9 kids. Why? You know, but that wasn't the case. And obviously I was doing it because I believed that God, I needed God to protect me and provide, and I was still in that brainwash era. But yeah, I bounced every single tithing check.
I do remember those times, and I remember like just watching you from being a daughter's perspective. Like you were so determined that you were gonna pay that. no matter what happened, you were so determined you're going to pay that. Like,
Well, yeah.
I even think even your pastor, if he gave you an out, you were like, no, like for some reason, like I will do my part. We're going to make this happen.
Well, because I was still in the brainwash.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously that's not the case now. But fast forward to where we are now, let's talk a little bit about our success. Like, where are we on the scale to success? And I mean, talking about the times of poverty and pigweed and all that, talking about all that, and now thinking about it, we're like, oh my gosh, we've come a long ways. How do you girls feel about where we are today, and how does that look for you, your families, and what we've done so far?
Well, it feels like night and day, and I just saw this post the other day, like saying, if I was my kids' age and I was in school with them, I would think they were rich, and it's like literally that part, because it's like saying your kids, you know, have multiple pairs of shoes, like simple like daily necessities, and them having an endless amount, and like always having it's like simple things, but it's like yeah, you guys don't go without at all. You guys have a surplus in some areas, so it's wild to think. It's like, yeah, definitely if I went to school with my kids, I'd be like, they're rich. They're rich for sure. Because I remember in school being like, oh, this person's rich for sure. You could tell, like, we didn't think we were, like, super poor or really broke, but it's like you could tell which friends were rich. Or going to our friend's house and being like, opening their cabinet and being like, snacks for days. Like, what the heck? Like, obviously we had food, but, like, we didn't have, like, more than we needed. So, yeah, I guess it's just...
Yeah.
How about you, Jen?
I'm thinking about being in school as well, and I feel like we always had what we needed. We never had access.
Yeah.
And so now, I don't have kids, but living in my own life,
Yeah,
I'm
you
like,
have
I can see
access,
how
I'm sure.
now it's like, I don't know if it's for the good, but, you know, I of course have more than I need. But I think one thing when we're talking about all of this and the idea of like, I never felt poor because we had an abundance of love, you know, abundance of care. And I think the biggest thing when I look at somebody who is poor per se, it's that nobody cares about them. So I'm like, even if we were eating said whatever and didn't have whatever, it's like you cared for us so much. And I think that also we cared for each other so much that it never felt like even in those moments that we were poor, because we always had that love and that care.
Yeah.
And when you see like, even in Mexico, when you see like the bums on the street, it's like really nobody cares for them. It's not that they don't have money.
Right.
It's not that they don't have said clothes or what have you. It's like nobody cares for them.
Yeah.
And we had so much care in all, I mean, through our whole life. And I even think about that right now, like how much like we care about each other. And like some people, I mean, where I work, I see people have an abundance of money. Like there's no lack there. Like I can see where it's like some people, nobody cares about them. And like I can feel, like I can feel that. And to me, like as we're talking, that's where I'm really going, like, wow, like it's really like somebody caring for you and caring
And loving you deeply.
I love that you bring that up, because it just makes me,
success.
it makes me think like, you know what, I took that for granted, because as the breadwinner, the mother, the father, and everything that I was, I put on myself so much importance on providing. And like any parent, you want to give your kids the best. You don't want your kids to be weirdos. You don't want your kids to not fit in. You don't want them to lack. Like, you know, first time someone bought a pair of buckle jeans, it almost took me down.
You spent $70 on these?
Yeah, but in my heart, I wanted to be able to do that. I just couldn't. So I spent a lot of my time raising all my kids and all that I did in that pressure where I wanted to make you guys belong and feel proud of your home and feel good about what you were wearing and where you're going and how you were. And now that you mentioned that, Jen, I think that there was times that I just took for granted, you know, how much I loved and cared for you. Like, oh, I'm a mom. Any mom would do that. Like, I didn't really look at it as valuable, even though I knew it was valuable. I took care of my kids. I know that, but I put so much more pressure on me to provide than I ever did to love and nurture, because that came natural.
So natural.
And I don't care what was in the bank or what was in the fridge or what time of day it was or if I was healthy or not. To love and provide to love my children and give them that care and that nurture, I could do it with both my eyes closed, my hands tied behind my back. So it came so natural that I never looked at it like, oh, this is such a great thing I'm giving the kids until you bring it up. And of course, through our life, I hear it, and then it reminds me, and then I'll hear my daughters say things to their children or to their husbands or whatever, and then it reminds me. I think, oh yeah, I forget. I'm just a mom. Any mom would do that. But the pressure I felt all through those years, and even a little bit now, you might say, is that I want to provide not only daily needs or whatever, but I still put in that pressure. We've got to leave this legacy that can be passed on to generations, that through this story and how we got here, that we can move on to experiencing all that this earth and this world and has to offer. And so I'm so glad you brought that up, because it just made everything make a full circle. Like, oh my gosh, you guys were
is the other
so
side.
wealthy even when you were
I want to add to that because
Yeah, me
something
too.
just came to my mind is like, in my mind, when I think of poverty, I think of filth. And it's like, poverty, poor, don't mean nasty, gross, disgusting. So I feel like you were really good of, okay, this is all we have, but we're going to light a candle and make sure it's really clean and tidy and like homey. And even my son tells me, Mom, why do you like everything nice and neat? And it's like, because I'm creating a cozy home for you to be raised in. And I feel like on top of that love that we had, it's like, we had this homey, regardless of what we had, and it was all dumpster diving, but it's like the environment you created was so homely and loving and like
And rich.
and like clean.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, rich and clean and like all of that. So I'm like, and that just makes sense why we own a home service business, because it's like that was really a gift you had. It's like regardless of what we had, we're gonna make it be the nicest of the nice, which is why we felt so like loved and nurtured, because we all loved each other, but then the environment as well was so like homey and clean and you know, because like I was saying, poverty to me is like filth, what you see on the TV, and it's like I didn't feel that at all. I never felt like, and I'm not saying we had like the worst poverty ever. Obviously, it wasn't like that, but it's like I feel like we were really good at just keeping it clean and homey and.
I appreciate you saying that.
I just wanted to add, so we're, going from poverty to where we're at now. My biggest thing is like mindset. Like our, I think when you look at poverty, it really is like where you're at and what your beliefs are. And I think that we've really pulled from that. And that personally to me was a huge shift. Like I bought my daughter a jacket that's nice. Like when you do the buckle jeans, it's the belief that we can now, and we don't have to live that. And mindset was such a huge piece that I feel like that's what wealth is that those three points that we all talked about.
Well,
But
before we end this, one of the teachings from the cult was poverty was godly.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Poverty is godly.
Poverty is godly.
It's humble. Being
Humble. Yeah, you have to
Well,
break
being
all that.
poverty is being humble. You
Yeah.
have to be
That
poor.
was the hugest
You have to
challenge
be poor
for
and
me, is
humble.
breaking that.
Poor to be godly, that makes no sense.
Yeah, we could get into that another time, because now we're at the end of our time.
day.
But anyways, I hope you guys all enjoyed our second episode. How we went from rags to what we call
Clean rags.
Clean.
Loved rags.
So you are listening to Raised by Fire, and we
So
hope
too.
you're enjoying.
Yeah.
Like, subscribe, send us your messages.
Love.